When I was little, my sister and I followed our father up the mountain to chop wood. Suddenly, a massive black serpent coiled itself around his body. What terrified me most was that this serpent could speak. Its voice was low and gravelly, like waves crashing against jagged rocks.
Give me your daughter, and I will spare your life.
The serpent's coils tightened, and his ribs cranked with a sickening crunch. Then my sister did something unexpected. She shoved me forward hard. I watched Father gasping for breath, his face turning purple.
Marry me! Please let my father go!
The giant serpent released him instantly and vanished into the thick olive grove in the blink of an eye. Only one chilling echo remained, bouncing off the valley walls.
When you come of age, you will bear my children.
After that day, precious jewelry began appearing on my bedside table for no reason. And whenever I got sick, I would heal overnight. Even when I burned with a fever so hot I could barely breathe, I'd wake up the next morning perfectly fine. My sister grew jealous. On my 18th birthday, she pushed me off the cliff at the edge of the island, hoping to take my place as the serpent's bride. As icy seawater flooded my nose and mouth, the last thing I saw was her standing on the shore, her face completely devoid of guilt. When I opened my eyes again, I was back to the day the giant serpent had wrapped itself around Father. This time, my sister stepped forward first.
Marry me!
She had been reborn too, but she didn't know that in my last life, a new serpent scale had grown on my body every single day. By the time I died, I was covered from head to toe in thousands of them. From age 8 to 18, 10 whole years, 3,600 scales. They had fused with my skin and flesh, impossible to pull out. A thick, achesered slime oozed from between the scales, reeking of rot and seaweed. I scrubbed myself raw 100 times a day and hung lavender sandals all over my clothes just to bask the stench. And I kept having the same dream. I was living in the underground chambers of the Serpent Temple, surrounded by thousands of hissing snakes. The air was cold and damp, thick with that same terrible smell. No amount of gold or jewels could ever wash away the fear and dread I felt every single night. After my sister spoke, the giant serpent narrowed its golden slit eyes and stared her up and down. Then it slowly released Father. Just like last time, it vanished without a strice, leaving only one sentence hanging in the air.
When you come of age, you will bear my children.
This sentence is meant for my sister Eladora. Father collapsed to his knees, sobbing as he held her tight.
Eladora, how could you be so foolish?
My sister patted his back like a grown woman comforting a child.
Dad, I couldn't just watch you die. And even if it had killed you, it would have come for Lynor and me next. This was the only way.
But you...
Shh. You told me the story of Jack and the Beanstalk, remember? Maybe this will turn out to be a good thing.
Then she turned to me, her eyes soft and warm. Don't feel guilty, Lynor. I'm the older sister. It's my job to protect you. I still couldn't believe that the kind, gentle sister I'd always known had pushed me off a cliff. I didn't tell her I'd been reborn too. I just hung my head and let them pull me into a hug. My sister pressed her forehead to mine. When I looked down, I saw her lips curve into a smile even as tears streamed down her face. Was she relieved to have a second chance? Or was she crying because we were together again? For a moment, I was confused. And what had she gone through in her last life that made her so desperate to marry the serpent this time? One day, many years later, my elder sister stayed in her room and refused to come out at noon.
Go see what's wrong with her.
Father was worried sick. When I opened the door, she was sitting on the bed with her back to me. Her head was bowed, and she was moaning in pain, her hands fumbling with something on her stomach. Her whole body was shaking. Sister. She jumped violently at the sound of my voice and spun around. Her face was pale and covered in sweat. She tried to smile, but I could see the terror and agony in her eyes. Don't sneak up on me like that. Next time, knock first. What are you doing? I rushed to her side before she could answer. She quickly pulled her linen dress back down, but she couldn't hide the silver tweezers in her hand. Clamped between the prongs was a single, dripping black serpent scale, and a large patch of her dress was soaked through with blood. It's only just beginning, sister. And pulling them out does no good. Tomorrow, twice as many will grow back. By tomorrow, she'll have 3 scales on her stomach, she said, trying to comfort me as she wrapped a linen bandage around her wound. Don't be scared, Lynor. She put her hands on my shoulders and looked at me seriously. Promise me you won't tell anyone about this, okay? especially not father. I don't want him to worry. She always played the part of the perfect, caring sister. She would never show her true self unless she had to. I nodded. I wanted to see how she would react tomorrow. I wanted to see when she would finally break. Another day passed. She lifted her dress. Just as I'd known she would, there were 3 scales on her stomach, arranged in a perfect triangle. But she just let her dress fall back down and smiled a strange, knowing smile. Lynor, I had a dream last night. A man in black came to visit me. He was pale, so handsome, and he left this amulet table. She pulled a black serpent-shaped agment amulet out of her pocket and showed it to me. It was exactly like the one I'd received in my last life. But in my last life, father had taken it to the market and sold it for bread and olive oil. I'd never dreamed of any handsome man in black.
Promise me you won't tell father or grandma about this amulet. Father will just sell it for money. This is his first gift to me. I can't let him take it.
But sister, if we sell it, we can have white bread and honey, and new linen robes.
Shh. This is the first thing he's ever given me.
We can sell other things later, okay, my sweet sister?
Okay.
But at dinner, the amulet slipped out of her pocket as if by fate. Father snatched it up instantly, his eyes lighting up with greed.
Eloria, where did you get this?
The kind, gentle father I knew was gone. In his place was a stranger with hungry eyes. It had been the same way in my last life, but back then, we just sold the jewelry and that was the end of it. But this time my sister wouldn't let him have it.
Give it back! Give it back!
It was the first time I'd ever heard her raise her voice. Father pulled his hand away, staring at her in disbelief.
Eladora! How dare you speak to your father like that?
Give it back! It's a gift from the Serpent God! Give it back to me!
A gift from the Serpent God. I'm going to sell this in town to buy medicine for your grandmother.
Grandma's eyes were getting worse. When the sun was bright, she would scream in pain. Now she sat silently in her chair. My sister's hand was still outstretched, her face twisted with rage.
We don't need new clothes! We have enough to eat! Why does it matter?
What about your grandmother? Do you want her to suffer?
That old woman's already half-blind and useless! She'd just go join Mother in the underworld and stop being a burden!
My sister was screaming at the top of her lungs, her face bright red with anger. Father's eyes widened, the whites turning blood-red. As she lunged for the amulet again, he slapped her hard across the face, sending her crashing into the marble dining table.